What if I told you that just 5 simple habits could totally transform your songwriting? Whether you're stuck in a creative rut or you just want to level up, these 5 habits will unlock your songwriting genius. Let's talk about it. Habit number 1, keep a single source of truth for all your ideas. This is such an easy thing to get right and an easy habit to get into, but always make sure that all your lyric ideas are in one place. Not some are in a notepad in your room. You have another set of ideas that are on a note card in the basement, and then you have other ideas that are in your phone. And then every time you think, oh, I want to develop that idea more, you have to spend 20 minutes just finding the idea. No, put all your ideas in one place. I highly recommend Google Docs because you can just have one running Google Doc that has all your lyrical ideas. You know where it is, you can access it from your phone, whether you be in your room or on the road or in front of a computer, you always will have access to it and you can't lose it. It's not like a notepad where if you lose it, you're ticked now and there's no getting it back. Instead, it's in the cloud, so you're not going to lose it. And then for music ideas, you want to do the same thing. So maybe just use the recording app on your phone to record the ideas, and then you know that all your ideas are on your phone's recording app. Then if you're actually recording your songs, it might make sense to take that idea and bring it into your computer via your DAW or something like that, but we're not worried about that at this point. The idea is when you're like, I had that one idea that one time, you should immediately know where it is. Was it a music idea? Okay, it's in the recording app in your phone. Was it a lyric idea or a story idea or just something connected to words? Okay, it's in your Google Doc. Habit number 2 is to listen to music critically that you do and do not like. For pretty much every songwriter, you became a songwriter because you love music. Now, that's a good thing, but your job when listening to music now is no longer to just listen to it for the sake of it or for enjoyment. Instead, you should make sure to spend time listening to music with an analytical ear or a critical ear, because you want to learn from the songs you're listening to, not just enjoy them. Now, what I'm not saying is that you never can listen to music just for enjoyment ever again. What I am saying is that it's really easy as a songwriter who already loves music enough to want to make your own music to exclusively listen to music in a way that is meant to be simply for enjoyment. But one of the best ways to learn to become a better songwriter is to listen critically. Figure out songs you don't like and analyze why. Figure out songs you do like and what it is about those songs that you feel like is really working. Figuring out things like, ooh, I tend to like things that are in Phrygian mode, or I tend to like chord progressions that use a certain chord because it elicits a certain emotion in me. And also pay special attention to your favorite artists within a certain genre, even if it's not the genre that you write in, and pay special attention to songs you do like from artists you don't like, or artists you do like from genres you tend to not like. Because very often there's going to be more obvious things to learn from the one country artist that you like, or there's more to learn from that one song that you like from that artist that normally you hate. Because chances are they're doing something in that song, or that artist within the genre is doing something that actually resonates with you that nobody else is doing. So there might be something there in what are they doing different than everybody else that resonates with me, and that is able to transcend genre, where I normally wouldn't like that genre, or I normally don't like that artist, but there's something special about this song or this artist that makes me resonate with them, even though normally, at least on paper, it's an artist or a song I wouldn't like. Habit number 3, practice your instrument. Simply put, the better you are at your instrument, the more tools you have to express yourself. It is true that the skill of writing and the skill of playing an instrument are not connected. For instance, you could be the greatest pianist of all time and still be a terrible writer because it's just a different skill set. But the better you are at your instrument, the less limited you're going to be in what you can write. The more capable you're going to be of coming up with more interesting, intricate parts for your instrument to then build your song off of. So getting better at your instrument is absolutely massive to becoming a better songwriter. Even though inspiration is overrated when it comes to the total songwriting process, I think most of whether a song is good or not depends on perspiration, work, instead of inspiration, but it is absolutely pivotal for the spark of your song, because most of the best sparks or ideas for songs are going to come from improvisation. And the better you are at improvisation and the better you are at playing your instrument, the better your improvised parts are going to tend to be. You certainly are capable of much more than, say, somebody who doesn't play an instrument at all. They can't improvise anything, so they have to just write painstakingly slowly for every single part. But if you're a really great guitarist, you can just sit and play your guitar and come up with a really sweet lick that you never would have written with your mind, but you're able to write just by improvising and feeling it. And then from there, you can use your mind and perspiration to create a great song off of it. But you never would have gotten that spark to begin with if you weren't good at playing guitar. And by the way, something you should be working into all of your practice sessions is practicing improvisation, because improvisation is really the heart of songwriting. At some point, most of your songs eventually are probably going to start by you sitting with your instrument of choice and just improvising. And after 10, 20 minutes, you come up with something where you're like, oh, that's actually really cool. And then you build a song off of that really cool part. So being good at improvising is going to allow you to generate better ideas more quickly, which then is going to allow you to have better ideas to actually develop into songs, which will help you have better songs. Habit number 4, write daily. Even if it's 10 minutes, try to get into the habit of at least mostly daily getting some writing in. I'll admit that I don't write every day. I would say I usually do 6 out of 7 days a week. There's usually 1 day a week that I sort of just try to relax and let my brain rest from creativity. But getting in the habit of doing the work, whether you are inspired or not, and just being in a habit such that it's odd for you to not be songwriting that day is a great place to start, because that means you're always getting a little bit done, a little bit done, a little bit done, and you're staying in that creative mode. If you're not in the habit of actually writing every day or close to every day, then it would be really easy for 2 months to go by, 3 months to go by, and realize I haven't written anything. Not I haven't finished anything. I haven't done any songwriting at all in 3 months. That can easily happen because I've fallen into that trap more than once. Before I was in the habit of songwriting, I would be streaky about songwriting. I'd write like 5 songs within 2 months, and then I would go 2 months and basically write nothing. And this is all easily avoidable, and it will help you to stay consistent as a songwriter if you, well, are consistently songwriting, because you're consistently in that creative mindset, you're consistently working on your craft and consistently getting better at your craft and consistently getting some work done on songs. Consistency is so important to all things in life, and certainly songwriting is not an exception. So just get in the habit of songwriting every day, regardless of your feelings or whether you're inspired or anything like that. Make songwriting a habit. And habit number 5 is to take the time to reflect on your past work. It's way too easy to just be like, I'm done with that song, so I'm never going to listen to it again or think about it again. I'm on to the next shiny new creative venture. But this is a mistake, because just like we as humans can and should learn from history, we also should learn from our own history, because the best way to learn to improve as a songwriter and learn to double down on the things we're good at as a songwriter is to be aware of our weaknesses as a songwriter and our strengths as a songwriter and our tendencies that we've had in the past. We're not going to be aware of them if we don't actually reflect back on them. You don't even have to listen to your old songs or replay your old songs so much as just think about them. Even if you're in the grocery store or on the commute to work, just reflecting back on your songs and thinking, okay, if I were to be honest with myself, what part of the song is really working? What part of the song do I not like? If I'm embarrassed by the song now, why? What specifically is it about the song that makes me kind of cringe and wish that nobody had ever heard it? And just as a real example, for me personally, one of the many things that I learned from reflecting on older songs was that I tended to not be very good at second verse lyrics. I just really struggled with having second verse lyrics that really moved the song forward and had something meaningful to say that wasn't just sort of rehashing the first verse but with different words, and it was fine, but it really just felt like a more disappointing version of the first verse, which what a lot of sequels are for movies, right? The second movie is just a disappointing version of the first one. We don't want that to be true of our lyrics as well, but it was through reflecting on my older songs that I realized that and addressed that problem, which is hopefully getting better and better as I continue to improve. So be sure to listen back to your old songs if you have recordings of them, play them again, or just reflect on them in your mind to be really honest with yourself. What worked? What didn't work? work and learn from both, because you can learn from the things you did really well and you can learn from the things that you didn't do very well, so that you can be better in the future because you're addressing your weaknesses and you're doubling down on your strengths. So if you're ready to take your songwriting to the next level, be sure to get into all 5 of these habits, and also check out my free guide on 20 different ways to start writing a song, because a great way to unlock your creativity and take your songwriting to the next level is to make sure that you aren't creatively stuck. You aren't starting all your songs the same way over and over and over again, because you might not have even discovered the way that is best for you to start a song. Maybe you always start your song with a chord progression or with your melody, but really the best way for you to get the best results as a songwriter is actually to start with the bass line or with a piano riff instead. But if you never have actually tried that, you would never find that out, and that is a great tragedy. So be sure to check it out, 20 different ways to start writing a song, my free gift to you. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll talk to you in the next one.